We're now going to go live to international affairs commentator Marko Gasic for more on this. The Belarusian prosecutors are accusing the council of plotting an illegal seizure of power. The opposition, of course, denies that. Where do you see this case leading?
Well, it depends on the way that the events in Belarus develop generally. I mean, if the putsch or the coup or whatever we want to call it, the revolution is successful, then these will be the new leaders. If it's unsuccessful, they could find themselves facing the wrath of the system against them. So it really does depend on events. But let's look at what they actually represent as a coordination council. I mean, what are they actually coordinating? Are they coordinating the events themselves in Belarus, or are they coordinating the distribution of $53 million euros of EU funds and an unknown amount of American funds that might be arriving? Maybe they're looking at how to divide that money up and spend some of it in various ways. That's a powerful motivation for any human being. But one thing is for certain, that the real coordination council is not in Belarus, but it's in Langley, Virginia, and its aims are pretty clear: to coordinate the coordinators and to set up a kind of a straight line going from north to south, from Estonia to the Black Sea, of NATO presence on Russia's western border, because Belarus is the only obstacle that Washington really has in this respect. So I think that's the real aim. And to create a new kind of a Belarus Wall to replace the Berlin Wall, separating Western Europe from Russia with this American-dominated zone in Eastern Europe. I think that's the real aim of this. And the Coordination Council that we've been discussing is simply a fig leaf, a symbolic figurehead to hide the fact.
What kind of reaction do you think we could see from the EU to this case? The European leaders yesterday pledged to protect the Belarusian opposition from, quote, arbitrary arrests and violence. So how are they going to view this latest move from Minsk?
However they view it, they'll view it in however they view it, but they'll always publicly find fault with whatever Minsk does, because they've now embarked on this path to delegitimize Lukashenko and his government. So they will, of course, criticize this, as they are now criticizing everything that's happened, including the running of the elections themselves, where they've absolutely not been specific about their allegations that the elections weren't fair. For people who appear to be vastly well informed, they haven't yet told us a single example of what they're referring to when they say that those elections weren't fair. And I'd like to see those elections examined, and I'd like to see the votes examined. I'd like to see a recount, personally.
Well, the opposition is saying that the election was rigged and that the government did that for themselves. How could this criminal probe influence the anti-Lukashenko crowds on the streets? Do you think it could actually galvanize them to continue their fight?
I don't think so. I think that this is the crowds on the street will already have their own view. I mean, what we have here is a situation where the criminal probe has been launched by the Belarusian authorities, who really don't have a great deal of weapons at their disposal. They don't really know how to deal with the regime change machine, which is running at full pelt in their country. So they can put soldiers on the borders, they can put police out on the streets, and they can use the courts. But these are really Stone Age tactics against a new and very well equipped adversary. So I think that it's time for the Belarusian government of Lukashenko to look at this situation again and try and learn some new tactics that belong to the new age in which we live.
International affairs commentator Marko Gasic, thank you for your time and your comments.
Thank you.